And we are back. We are back with our second best of 3 of the night. We just wrapped up a very fast TVZ, but now we're here with a different matchup entirely. We're here with Big Gabe versus NightMare.
Yeah, we just had what on paper was a very closely matched ZVT, and now we have a really closely matched TvP. I feel like both of these players really excel in these matchups respectively, and it should be super interesting to see how their styles clash, because NightMare, he's a very aggressive PvT player, and HeRoMaRinE is a very timing-based TvP player.
Definitely, and I'm so excited to see them both duke it out here in a Masters Coliseum. Meanwhile, also a shout out as well to NightMare and his new team. Newly announced, he has joined HeRoMaRinE Esports, and I was really concerned that he wouldn't be able to find one. A lot of players are free agents with the disbandment of Abydos, but he has a new home.
I still rate it as Little Mix when I see the clan tag.
You're inedible.
So we're gonna stop. But yeah, they've really bolstered their team, and I think they're going to be some serious contenders to get into Code S.
Oh yeah, WTL is going to be that much more spicy, and here he is sporting in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing his brand new team, HeRoMaRinE Esports. It is NightMare.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it is his opponent. Playing it for Mouse Esports, it is HeRoMaRinE.
But yeah, I'm really happy to see NightMare on a new team. I was a little bit concerned that he'd be like one of the last players picked up, because he's a free agent alongside Kyor, alongside DRG as well, Gumiho. There are a lot of big names in Korea, but NightMare was able to find a nice suitable home, and I want to believe that HeRoMaRinE, they're going to treat him well. And as you mentioned, is going to be I feel like a valuable asset to their team in WTL.
Yeah, I'm really liking the current roster that HeRoMaRinE have put together, but before we get into that, we are seeing something very interesting coming out from NightMare. He's gone for a 17 Nexus here, and this is often going to be for a 5 Adept Rush. It's an old parting build, and it's a very aggressive build at that, so we'll have to see if HeRoMaRinE can remember how to hold this if he does in fact scout it.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if he does come across this. We do have a Reaper on the way. He did avoid the SCV scout, at least initially. So he's going to be relying on that Reaper to kind of get a read on what is going on. And yeah, we'll see if NightMare does commit to that, or if he does have a bit of a different variation, different outlook on that as well.
Yeah, it could be. He hasn't really sent any probe out across the map to set up a proxy here, so yeah, very interesting to see what he's cooking. He is holding quite a lot of chrono boost as well, so it's gonna be yeah, I'm very curious what he has put together here.
Yeah, exactly. NightMare, he can be quite an aggressive player here, and he can kind of come up with his own things at times as well. We can see, for the time being, HeRoMaRinE, who's going to be scouting over towards the right-hand side here, just trying to check the corners, even checks the gold. Oh my god.
Yeah, HeRoMaRinE checking the gold base first of all out of anything. Just shows how much he respects that. I know Mario was playing a lot of one base all-ins on this map just because the gold base builds from Protoss are extremely hard to deal with if they do get up. So looks like HeRoMaRinE is respecting that a lot as well.
Yeah, he checks the other gold base here on the left-hand side. I don't blame him. Those fast gold bases have been a little bit prevalent in Korea. I have seen both Hero and Classic whip it out. NightMare, I'm not so sure. But of course, he isn't going to be going for it here on Royal Blood. Not yet, at least, as Reaper does get across the map.
Yeah, Reaper's across the map now, does snipe down a probe. That's a really nice catch here for HeRoMaRinE. Meanwhile, NightMare going for 4 gates here with no tech. This is a very interesting build.
Yeah, very odd. No Twilight Council, no Stargate, no Robot, as you were saying. So we're going to be working with vanilla gateway units. I imagine vanilla adepts. Back at home, HeRoMaRinE is playing it out very safe, going for a CC onto the high ground. The Reaper does dip into the main base, does get eyes on some of that production.
Oh, another probe. That's 2 probe kills for that Reaper. That is huge.
Does get that second worker. He also, I believe, saw all 4 gateways. Yes, he did see the 2 gateways in the low ground, 2 gateways in the main base as well. And there's going to be a robo behind this.
Yeah, okay, so NightMare continuing to warp in Adepts here. It is going to be a mass Adept attack. We have this forward pylon as well, so he does have the potential to slow warp some Adepts off that. It looks like he is going to be looking mainly just to contain HeRoMaRinE on the high ground for now.
Yeah, exactly. HeRoMaRinE at the same time is going for a Mine Marine drop across the map. He does leave a couple of wooden mines back at home to defend the natural base as well. We'll see if NightMare is able to recognize and pull back in time. Looks like he may have, but at the same time, we have that drop. Up! The reaction!
Oh, we have the drop at the Adepts. They get into the main as well.
Yeah, the Adepts, they do shade in, but a quick reaction out of HeRoMaRinE. He does wall off in time. Meanwhile, the mine shot does go off. He does save some of his units as well.
Yeah, he's going to be saving those units. Meanwhile, HeRoMaRinE trying to get that tank out quickly. That will help him to secure his bases. This marine drop is getting a lot of damage. 7 probes going down already. That definitely makes up for the lost mining time on the low ground.
Yeah, it really does with those 7 workers. A couple of Marines do survive as well. The mine survives. Meanwhile, the tank has arrived here on the high ground. HeRoMaRinE will eventually regain control of his natural base, especially with the help of that tank, with the help of potentially an auto turret as well, as he is looking to go toe-to-toe with these Adepts. Oh.
Yeah, HeRoMaRinE really not respecting these Adepts, but they are going to be able to get into the main. It looks like they will be finishing the shade, trying to gun down as many of these as they can. Oh, accidental misclick does spend that first shot on the depot there.
Exactly. Now, as a result, only 1 SCV goes down. Not really the damage that NightMare was looking for here, as he is going to get cleaned up. He is trapped now in the main.
Yeah, this Marine's going to be pushing the Adepts into the corner. The tank's adding some nice DPS to that as well. All of these Adepts get gunned down, and this build of NightMare is not quite coming together how he was hoping just yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's gotten 1 SCV, denied mining. Sure, he's going to try to go toe-to-toe with this army as well. He dives on top of the Marines. He's trying to get that tank as well, but the tank on the high ground getting so much damage done.
Yeah, really nice target fire from HeRoMaRinE, making sure that these tanks are firing just on the Stalkers, not going on those Adepts and splashing on the Marines or anything like that. And this has been a very solid hold so far from HeRoMaRinE, who now has a very comfortable lead as well in this game.
Yeah, exactly, and we can see NightMare in a bit of a desperate move, I feel, is going to go for a Hail Mary play. He rushes into Robotics Bay. He's going Disruptor first, which can be a very risky thing to do, but high risk, high reward. NightMare is going to do something here to try to recover in this game.
I think it makes a lot of sense, especially on this map as well. We saw yesterday, this map is one that is favored by Protoss players to go for this kind of Disruptor play. I'm trying to remember, who did we see do it yesterday?
Cyan?
It was yesterday's Protoss. Yeah, Cyan. Cyan went for Disruptors instead of Colossus, specifically on this map because of the way that the middle of the map is laid out. You can kind of catch units walking up that ramp right in the center, as we do see this Observer going down. So I think that's his plan to come back. He's going to be greedy and hope that he catches the first push with a big Disruptor Nova.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we'll see if it does pay off in the end. HeRoMaRinE, he doubles down, he throws down a couple of extra Raxes behind this here, still staying on 2 base for the time being, hunting down these Adepts again. Even though NightMare is cutting some corners and he's taking some risks, HeRoMaRinE is still looking very solid back at home. Like, he's got a pretty good economy here, his production getting well underway.
Yeah, HeRoMaRinE going for a 5 racks all in here. This is most likely going to be paired up with an SEV pool. Makes a lot of sense with the low-tech opening of NightMare here, but unfortunately he got very supply blocked, so he's not quite going to have the supply that he would expect to have at this point.
Yeah, 3 Deepers are about to finish up to help alleviate all of that as well. His army is getting ready to move out. NightMare will have eyes on at least the Marines for the time being. He also has that spotter pylon, I guess, as well. And NightMare is getting ready, moving out, looking to try to cache the army in the center of the map.
Alright, HeRoMaRinE going to start things off with the double drop going around the outside of the map. This is going to be very nice way to abuse the fact that NightMare doesn't really have that many units. Without all of his units kind of paired up together, sitting fodder for these Disruptors, I do think that there's a lot of potential for damage.
There really is, as NightMare is mainly focused here on the main assault. The tanks are moving out towards the left-hand side. At the same time, Drop is getting ready to dive into the main base. There are a couple of Stalkers in position, but there are still so many Marines.
Yeah, definitely not enough. He is getting on top of all this. Shield battery overcharge has been committed. The Marines are gunning that down. It goes down, but the medevac a little bit out of position. Quite a few of these Marines are going to be taken down without the healing.
Yeah, at the same time, we do push in across the map. Massive Novas are going to be going off on the SCVs, but at the same time, here comes the main army of HeRoMaRinE pushing in towards that third.
Yeah, absolutely. Chaos descends upon Royal Blood here. There is armies all over the place. We are base trading with the disruptors here. 16 SUVs going down, 7 probes going down, but the Nexus has gone down as well. Looks like HeRoMaRinE is going to respect the recall and back off a little bit, but I think he has enough tanks to hold the position.
Yeah, exactly. That's 5 tanks. My god, already a big chunk of Nightmare's army does go down. Looks like he wants to try to set up us around the probes. Like they do get pulled back just in time. HeRoMaRinE is reinforcing. That is going to get spotted by these zealots.
Yeah, actually drops on top of the zealots. Interesting decision there, but he will be able to clean up most of these. Some nice micro coming on out. Disruptors all getting taken out by the tanks. It looks like NightMare was distracted by his zealots, and that is not good at all for his hopes in this game.
He has 1 disruptor. 1 disruptor is left right now, and it's got a lot of work to do. Now there's, oh my god, 7 tanks in position. Nova goes off, takes down 2 of them. A good Nova, but he needs more than just that because the Marines are pushing on in.
Yeah, money shot from the Nova, but I don't think there's enough units here to even hold off the Marines on their own. HeRoMaRinE is going to be poking on forward, trying to put some pressure on this natural. There is no battery here. I mean, at NightMare, he was so far behind. He tried to make the best of it, but HeRoMaRinE just a little bit too clinical in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. I do love the Hail Mary play with those disruptors, but alas, it did not work out. HeRoMaRinE, he busts into the natural base. The tanks are in position as well. We can see NightMare trying to go for a bit of a surround, but the tank position is just too strong.
Yeah, HeRoMaRinE microing on both sides. GG is called, and the first game will go to the German, HeRoMaRinE.
GG, well played. A very powerful performance there from HeRoMaRinE. But also, we have to bear in mind as well that NightMare also went for a very unorthodox opener as well, to go for the 4-gate without a Twilight Council, without a Stargate, without any other tech behind it. Very aggressive play that did not pay off. He barely got any economic damage with it.
Yeah, that build was absolutely crazy. I would love to see a game where it works really well, just to see how all the ideas come together. But yeah, it didn't quite work out in that game.
Yeah, and I'm sure a big reason for that as well is that HeRoMaRinE, his initial Reaper control was amazing, right? He was able to scout everything. He was able to even get 2 probes at the start of the game as well. So it was just a really strong start from HeRoMaRinE even before the 4-gate got underway.
Yeah, the 2 probes is really big. It's hard to understate that, but with a build like this is a build that's extremely tight, and having to miss out on an adept or 2 because of that is sometimes the difference between winning or losing.
100%. 100%. That's how tight these builds can be. That's how efficient you need to be with it as well. So yeah, really good start for HeRoMaRinE. We'll see if he can bring it back or if he can close it out here in our next game. As of course, this is a best of 3, but this is also a chance for NightMare to bring it back on Gressvan.
Yeah, here we go. We are going to be loading in to Gressvan, and this is a map where there's a lot more room to work for the Protoss. It can be a little bit scary at the start, but I think once we get up to a 4 or 5 base setup, this can be a really nice map for Protoss.
Oh, it really can be, but is that where NightMare wants to go? Does he want to go to that kind of mid-game, right? It's like, I feel like he's more known to be an aggressive player, so we'll see. We'll see if if the space works for him or against him.
That's right, as here we go. We are loading on in, and in the top left-hand corner of the map, for his new team, Maturino, this is NightMare.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the German Terran player representing Team Mouse. It is HeRoMaRinE.
Yeah, his build was improper.
Oh, are we getting comms from HeRoMaRinE right now? Is that what's happening? Oh.
He's dialing on in all the way from I don't know what city he lives in. Let's say Hamburg, why not?
There you go.
As yeah, we are going to be seeing... Huh?
I'm not going to try my own German accent. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
I don't watch enough HeRoMaRinE.
It's just osmosis. It's just on while I'm like going to sleep.
Yeah.
It's on in the background. Yeah. Okay, NightMare going for a 17 Nexus again. So I guess he really does believe in this at the moment, but we're going to have to see how it matches up against a double gas opener, which is what HeRoMaRinE's going for this time around.
Yeah, much more aggressive opener out of HeRoMaRinE. With this, he can be more in the face of NightMare a little bit faster. So, yeah, I do want to believe that he can kind of deal with this, but we'll see. Time will tell. I was just saying that you've got HeRoMaRinE kind of like incepting your dreams, your brain as you're sleeping. You know, he's finding his way in. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I can just, it's kind of seeping in while I'm sleeping, and it's incepting ideas like 4K blink. If you have the perfect counter, you're even. It's just seeping into my brain. The truth.
Oh no. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. The Terran apologist. It's all because of HeRoMaRinE. Shaking my head. Shaking my head.
Now, just to have a little think about how these builds are going to match up. HeRoMaRinE really likes to go for multiple Reaper Hellion builds when he plays double gas, whether that's 2 Reaper, 1 Hellion, or 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion is something he goes for actually quite a lot. And I think that's what he's doing this time round. If NightMare goes for a similar build where he's playing Mass Adept, this is going to be really difficult for him to deal with. I think this matches up very well against that.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to hope that NightMare is going to mix things up a little bit more, but we'll see. For the time being, HeRoMaRinE, he's scouting, looking around for proxy starports, Stargates, I imagine as well. Behind this, we actually have Widowmine production here from HeRoMaRinE. He's not quite committing here into Reapers and Hellions.
Yeah, okay. It is just going to be a standard mine drop. This is pretty much the gold standard Maru version of the double gas build. Something that he was using actually a lot versus Zest a couple years ago. And in response, we are just going to be getting a 3-gate robo coming out from NightMare.
Yeah, here we go. So a bit of a faster tech structure this time. Going for Robo instead. With this, we should be working towards, I imagine, a Warp Prism, looking to be hyper aggressive across the map. Before that happens, the Reaper does sip on in, does get eyes on all of the gateways in the main.
Yeah, I mean, they call him HeRoMaRinE, but he's been Hero Reaper these last couple games. That Reaper getting all the information that he's going to be needing, and we'll have to see how he wants to respond. He's getting an early medevac again. I think it's entirely possible that we might be seeing that little Marine mine drop that he used in that first game.
Yeah, exactly, and I wouldn't be too surprised if it gets a lot of damage done once again, as well as NightMare is getting a pylon ready across the map. The Robo is about to finish up for our Protoss player as well. Now, he knows he got scattered, so we'll see how hard he commits to this. We'll see if he can still make something happen here, as HeRoMaRinE is taking a much more defensive position.
This is so aggressive from NightMare. I mean, I don't think HeRoMaRinE knows about this pylon, but this is just about as aggressively as you could possibly place it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just basically in his face. The drop is going to scout the pylon, by the way. So here Marine does get eyes on it. He's committing to his mine drop being sent across the map. And the Marines are going to clean up this pylon.
Yeah, really unlucky timing there for NightMare. And I mean, he does get vision of that drop heading out, but that pylon is not long for this world.
Yeah, meanwhile, we can see here, NightMare, he's actually not really committing to too many warp-ins. He has his Stalkers back at home, but he's going straight into a robotic space, so he's going for a very different kind of transition here instead, rushing into either Colossus or Disruptors as the drop is coming in.
Yeah, drop is coming in. HeRoMaRinE, he knows that there's no robo, so he knows that there's no blink as well. Oh, that was so close.
The shot barely did not go off. We do have another mine drop in towards the natural base. The boys are being pulled. Hot pick up there as HeRoMaRinE saves it. More importantly, he sees everything. He sees the robo, he sees the bay. He even sees it researching, so he knows it is going to be Colossi.
Yeah, full vision of what's going on here. Basically a 2-base robo Colossus opener coming out from NightMare. Something that we don't see much of anymore, but this was a pretty common style back in the day.
Yeah, especially back when 3-racks Marines were a little bit more popular back in the day as well. As an opener, it would be a great way to shut it down. But here, yeah, NightMare is going to be rushing into that. As you were kind of alluding to, it does mean that he has less map control, doesn't have Blink, doesn't have Phoenixes. He can't really have too much of a presence on the map, more defensive more than anything.
Yeah, and HeRoMaRinE going for the same response once again. He is a player that really likes to flowchart his play. He often has a timing for every situation, and looks like his timing that he has for a fast robo is to go for this 5-racks tank all in. So once again, we are going to be seeing him go up into a high tank count, probably 5 or 6 tanks by the time he moves out, and going for that 2-base all in.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, he is still going to have that Raven available as well for disable, so he will have a better answer to those Colossi to really bolster that attack. Meanwhile, he's coming back in for a bit of another scout and for maybe some damage as well. We still have that one Widowmine in that medevac.
Yeah, just kind of abusing the fact that these stalkers don't have blink, so the medevac can basically go where it pleases. And looks like we aren't going to be getting blink either. It's going to be a fast charge here coming out from NightMare. And I do think that if he can get enough charge lot warpins out before this 2-base all-in hits, he will have a good chance of cleaning up the tanks.
Definitely, definitely. Like, it's all going to come down to how large his army, how ready he is for it. Bearing in mind as well that he actually has seen quite a lot. Looking at his vision, the observer that dove into the main base earlier did see all 5 Raxes. So NightMare likewise also got a lot of information as well.
Yeah, but there we go, Big Gabe. He is going up into 5 tanks now. He's going for some very early Vikings as well. He's actually not really going to have many medevacs for this bio, so it's going to be all about the tanks, all about the Vikings. This is a push that works extremely well against Stalkers and Robo, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work against Mass Zealot if NightMare can get there.
Yeah, exactly. His army just isn't going to have as much longevity to it. Meanwhile, the mine drop is coming back in, heading towards that natural base, is going to unload, and no reaction. Up.
NightMare is not looking. Oh, and he makes it worse with the pool. 10 probes go down. I guess he just didn't see how early that drop came in.
Yeah, exactly. There are moments here where it may be sometimes better not to react and not to pull away if it does come in a little bit, or if you do notice a little bit too late. And here we go. The army is upon us. 5 tanks. As you were saying, the double drop does meet up with the main army as well. We have the Raven. We have the Vikings.
Yeah, double drop. Thinks about it for a moment and then dips out. NightMare with a pretty nice looking army here, but it's not an army that splits up very well. He doesn't have blink stalkers to blink under those medevacs and deny them, and that's going to make this hold that much more difficult.
Yeah, we do just carpet bomb the main base. We're going to be forcing a recall as well with one of those Colossi. He's going to be spinning up the upper. The Colossus goes down!
Oh, yeah, Colossus gets recalled on the wrong side there. A bit of a small detail mistake that NightMare didn't quite have the time to pay attention to, and yeah, it looks like it was undersplit from NightMare. He is trying to send some units back in, and that's when HeRoMaRinE pounces.
Yeah, and he doesn't have enough zealots. The tanks are just going ham on this army. We have the disable on the first Colossus. 1 tank goes down, but we have 4 more where that came from, and this third base is going to be broken.
Yeah, third base goes down. More probes going down in the main. We still don't have a cleanup in the main. 1 more Marine just doing whatever he can, and he will be evacuated. Oh, he won't be evacuated. He's got work to do.
He gets blinked onto the other side of the pile.
So
he's still going, Pop. He's still going. He's crazy.
There's little Gabriel down there.
That's his little Gabriel. Oh, God. I like it. I like it. He's like an angel. Yeah. He has wings.
The zealots can't get me over here. Now I'm on the other side.
And here we go. HeRoMaRinE pushing on forward, getting within range of some of the tech structures as well. NightMare going to come in from behind, but as we mentioned earlier, he just doesn't really have too much of an army to work with. He has Colossus, he has some Archons, don't get me wrong, but damage is still being done. Meanwhile, across town, he does slip into the main base of Big Gabe.
Yeah, he does get a little bit of counter damage going, and that's going to bring some of the units of HeRoMaRinE back home, which is going to help with this cleanup. The cleanup, very well timed on the attack there. A lot of tank shots getting soaked up by the Zealots. That was so well done by NightMare.
Yeah, very nice cleanup here in the end. It looks like maybe HeRoMaRinE was paying attention to the cleanup back at home instead. Meanwhile, he's not done. He comes back in with a double drop to join little Gabriel as well. He's still there.
Wow, look at HeRoMaRinE go. He is relentless with the drops, with the attacks, and he will be diving back on in. He is looking like a man possessed with this, and he is just picking apart NightMare.
I was tracking that one Marine, and it's still alive, by the way. It's got 12 kills.
Let's go. Oh my God.
He's still in there. He's big, Poppy. He's big.
Yeah, he's going to get promoted to Big Gabriel.
As NightMare, he does hold on, but he's still on 2 bases. That's the thing. He's still trying to recover his economy. The drop play coming back in. Ooh, 1 full medevac does go down.
Yeah, the medevac does go down. Was he in there?
I don't know which. No, I think he's still in this one. I think
he's in that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no blink, so I think we're going to be getting him out, and maybe we can take him back home. We can lock him in between 4 depots so that he can just stay safe. I mean, I think he's earned his retirement.
That's him. Yeah, he's got 12 kills. That's him. Look at him go.
Oh no, he's going to be a scout. That's so unfair. You can't just send him to scout. Although maybe he won't be in the army force. Okay. I think he'll survive this war.
Maybe
As long
he'll
as
live.
HeRoMaRinE wins.
Even if he doesn't, we need to send this Marine out into the corner. We need to live, Papi, as a nomad. He deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah, just
as not...
hover him over the dead space in a medevac. He's on holiday.
Oh god, and here we go. NightMare is just vying for map control. HeRoMaRinE, he's getting control of his own third base. Like, he's still ahead economically. He's still ahead in so many ways, even though NightMare survived. HeRoMaRinE, he wasn't really, in a way, he was a little bit all in, but he has transitioned out of there, and now he's already into Ghosts. My god.
Yeah, he is already into Ghosts here, and that's really going to help him against all of these Archons. We do have Storm on the way for NightMare, so that's going to help bolster the Colossus in terms of splash, but we are now seeing what happens when you lose your third Nexus that early. Is this
No, that's not him. That's not him. That's okay. Yeah. It's not him. Yeah.
That's
Wait, where did he go? Yeah. I think he's a part of the main army now. I lost him.
I've got him selected. I have him.
Okay,
He's still alive. I'll let you know if anything happens to him. As we had that 1-1 slowly kicking in for HeRoMaRinE here. He is going to be pushing out, and yeah, losing your third Nexus that early does mean that you're going to have much less supply. It's going to be all about whether the Storms land here for NightMare.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how good those Storms are. Meanwhile, once again, the Storm is going to connect on the Marauders more than anything, but it does soften them up. HeRoMaRinE is not slowing down, though. He has so many tanks behind this. Oh my god, 7 tanks.
Yeah, HeRoMaRinE splits out those Marauders to snipe down the High Templar. We do have NightMare spreading those High Templar amongst his army really nicely. He doesn't want them to all get EMP'd together, and I think that's very smart, but this is going to be such a difficult army to engage with. 6 tanks for HeRoMaRinE.
Oh, I found him. Okay, why am I clicking off him? And here we go. Tank boys are going to be going off on those Archons, but as you were saying, we got a lot of Storms, a lot of High Templar available here. How good are those EMPs going to be, as once again another Storm does get baited out, but we still have, I want to say, 4 more behind this.
Marauders poke through the tanks there in range of the High Templars, but he doesn't quite get the focus fire. Big EMP is going to be going down for HeRoMaRinE. He has EMP'd all of those High Templars, and now he charges on forward. He's going to be trying to take down the third. He's trying to take down the Colossus as well.
Yeah, third base is going to go down. 1 Colossus does barely survive, but I can't say the same about the third. I can't say the same about the economy of NightMare. At the same time, he's going for a big counterattack, just trying to catch some reinforcements, but here comes Big Gabe.
Yeah, he's got 15 kills now. He's a captain, just got promoted, and I think he might be seeing the end of this war. Come on, GG out. I want him to survive.
No, the Zelts are coming in from behind. The Marines are standing strong. The tanks are going down, but the man with gun, they do survive. And it looks like the Zelts will get cleaned up. He lives.
He lives. Gabriel lives. He did it. He's a goddamn hero.
GG, well played. HeRoMaRinE takes the series. Little Gabriel really took the series in the end, to be fair, as he does take down NightMare 2-0.
15 kills for that HeRoMaRinE there. And yeah, very convincing 2-0. Nice timings coming out from HeRoMaRinE. He was very well prepared for the strange style of NightMare.
Yeah, it's definitely good to point out is that NightMare was playing very unorthodox, not standard play at all from NightMare. So yeah, really cool to see that HeRoMaRinE was able to keep up with that and was not too disturbed and not too flustered by the play of the Korean Protoss.
Yeah, that's right. So NightMare, unfortunately, not going to be getting the win there, but we are looking pretty good for HeRoMaRinE in this group now.
Definitely. And now we're going to be featuring some other players in Group C. We're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we're going to be featuring Spirit versus Ragnarok. Oh,
right. Bang a game. See you soon.
See you soon.